Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes, when my da left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Nugs? Yes. They don't got much meat on them, but down here you can't be picky. Better than nothing. Nuggets? Lots of people sell them here in Dusttown. What for? You going to cook them up yourself? Then we're in business, eh? Yeah, I can find a nug for you. Could even get one from outside the city. Those ones in the deeps don't eat as much garbage. I don't know what they eat, but they always seem healthier, you know? Shiny coats, bright eyes. How much you giving me? Don't know. Depends on how big a one I catch. Give me some time. I'll hunt him down for you. I got him. He's all squirmy, but he's a big fella. Don't know. I'll take anything you can give. He's a fat one, though. Worth a bit. I knew you'd be good on your word. Nice doing business.
Oh, it's one of those subterranean bunny pigs. Oh, look at him. Come here, you. He's probably just hungry. Oh, he's snuffling me. Snuffle, snuffle. Thank you so much. You've made my day.
Holy sodding stone! Was that you? Words out Jarvia's whole crew was slaughtered in their beds. I shouldn't be seen talking to you.
So you're the one who killed Jarvia. Do you know what you've done? Jarvia was no paragon, but she looked after her own. Even the nobles wouldn't cross her. If you think we're gonna let you waltz around like you own the place, you're wrong. For Jarvia, attack!
What do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. I'm no fool. Nobody just wanders around in Dusttown. You're here looking for me, and I don't like it. You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you. We have nothing to talk about, Warden. I haven't done a thing. I knew this Shapert stuff would be risky. Coin for the man who takes the Warden down. This deal was all their making, Warden. Technically, I haven't done anything wrong. We have no business. Unless you want to make a few coins. Not that I'm suggesting anything, but you're holding the prize now. I have a collector in mind. Who actually sells the item doesn't matter. It's your call. As always, I let people make their own decisions. Yes, well, I'll keep my nose clean until you're long gone. How about that? I'm just a businessman. I merely exploit opportunities. I won't get in your way. You found it. Warden, you have my gratitude. You're a bright spot in an otherwise dark time.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzammar's memories? Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shatgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons. The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young. Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss? Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Ortan Thaig. It was lost during the last blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Ortan, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortanic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Ortan, who was training in Orzammar when the Thaig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Thaig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Thaig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrowmont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Thaig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Take heart, good Widow Filda. We'll do our best.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
There you are. I thought I'd spoken to a Grey Warden, but for some reason I'd chalked it up to the drink. I know you're down here to look for Branka, and I need to ask a favor. I have, for all the sodding good it's done me. I'm the only one who still cares about her as a person. Everyone else thinks she's just a symbol they can leave in the deep roads where she can't offend anyone. I know what Branka wanted and how she was looking. You, I assume, know whatever Harrowmont's men have dug up on where exactly she disappeared. If we pool our knowledge, we stand a chance of finding Branka. Otherwise, good sodding luck. It's the deep roads. I'll kill Darkspawn. Outside of that, what difference does it make? Branka was a brilliant girl, but half the time she'd add 2 and 2 and make it 50. You want to find her, you need someone who knows how she thinks. I'm not some sodding elf maiden who sits around and waits for a passing hero to solve my problems. I'm a bloody warrior. I mean to get her back. And you wouldn't be down here if you weren't trying for the same thing. You should know that Branka was looking for the Anvil of the Void, the secret to building golems, which was lost centuries ago. The smith Caridin built it, and with it, Orzammar had 100 years of peace, while it was protected by the golems forged on the Anvil. No one's ever found a way to duplicate it. But if Branka could recover it, Orzammar might finally drive the Darkspawn back for good. As far as anyone knows, the Anvil was built in the old Ortan Thaig. Branka planned to start looking there, if she could ever find it. All she knew was that it was past Caridin's cross. No one's seen that Thaig for 500 years. If we're going, let's get moving. Branka's not gonna sodding find herself.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission.
Open your eyes, man! This Grey Warden is on a quest to find your Paragon! Do I have to take your stinking head off?
That won't be necessary. Oghren could have been Adesha for House Branka. I suppose he's the next best thing in both skill and arrogance. You may pass. I'd offer more assistance, but my command post is here. All of Orzammar relies on us to hold this line. Your guess is as good as mine. No one's been there in centuries, but both Balin and Harrowmont had men looking just this week. Of course not. Down here, you're bound to run into giant spiders, deep stalkers, and other vermin. Ugly beasts they are. Walk on two legs, but they have the head of a worm and hunt in packs. Watch out. They're not afraid to take on a group their own size. A few outposts. Legion of the Dead, mostly. Fools that they are. Some scavenger types, too. It's an independent company of soldiers. They accept no command but their own. Anyone who can bear arms can join, no matter his crimes. Or sanity. They hold a funeral when they join, and swear their only goal is a glorious death. Best of luck.
Caridin's Cross. I can't believe Harrowmont actually tracked this place down. This used to be one of the biggest crossroads in the old Empire. You could get anywhere from here, including Ortan Thaig. Aye. Branka dug up some maps of the ancient empire. It's a little tough to tell with so much of it collapsed now, but near as I can figure, we're on the right path to Ortan Thaig. It's the home of Caridin, the Paragon who made the Anvil. He was an Ortan before he founded his own house, and even then, he spent most of his time in their Thaig. Branka figured it was the best guess for where the Anvil was located. No one but Caridin ever really knew more than it had some kind of stone-blessed power. Every golem who ever ranged across the Empire was hammered on the steel of that anvil, but no one ever knew exactly how they were made. But Branka was sure she could find out. Not a one, but trust me, we will once we're on the path to the old Ortan Thaig. She was going to Caridin's home. I've been waiting for someone to say that for 2 sodding years.
Well, look what we have here. A couple of Harrowmont's little lackeys. Let's show them who's king!
By the tits of my ancestors. Ortan Thaig. I never thought I'd see this place in the flesh. I can see Branka all over this place. She always took chips from the walls at regular intervals when she was in a new tunnel. Checked their composition. If she was still here, though, she'd have sentries out by now. This was Caridin's home Thaig. He was an Ortan before he got raised to Paragon. Even stayed here when he could have had his own house. I guess he didn't want to move his people to Broodmother. The city of the dead. Caridin built it to honor the Legion of the Dead, but it was more like a sodding mausoleum than anything. Of course, that was all before he built the Anvil. After that, he was the city's pet genius until he angered the king and fell into disfavor. No, there was a Thaig here. The Ortan Thaig. Broodmother is north and west of here, but that's not important. Or at least I hope it isn't. The City of the Dead is known as the Dead Trenches since the Darkspawn conquered it. Much of the Legion was destroyed when the fortress fell. No one does. At the time, Ortan Thaig was almost part of the main city. No one bothered to mark where the anvil was stored. Now it's impossible to know if it's been moved or even destroyed. But trust me, if we find it, we find Branka. Well, aren't you a sodding bright spot today? If everyone's dead, there'd be evidence of a major battle, wouldn't there? 300 or so dwarves don't just fade away. Couldn't have said it better myself.
There's nothing for you here. It's mine. I've claimed it. You've come to take my claim. You surfaces are all alike. Thieving scoundrels. Well, I found it first.
Bah, he's a bloody scavenger. Good as sodding gone.
Begone, you! You'll bring the Dark Ones back, you will. They'll crunch your bones.
Word has it you could only survive down here by eating the Darkspawn dead.
It burns when it goes down! It burns! It's my claim, not yours! Crunch your bones!
Poor creature. Such are the lengths to which our survival instinct drives us.
Go away! This is mine! Only I gets to plunder its riches! No! No talking! You leave my territory! Everything was here. Everything the crawlers did not already take. Rocks, and tents, and worms. It's all mine! You won't take anything from Ruck? You won't take his shiny worms? Or pretty rocks? Oh. Ruck not mind that, maybe. Yes, Ruck's my name. I do not hear it much, so sometimes I like to speak it out loud. Ruck! 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 I will answer your questions. Too long ago, I must think. 5 years? 6? Ruck no longer remembers the smells and sights of the city. When the Dark Ones were here, I kept to the shadows. They don't look in the shadows, not if you're quiet. Not if you eat their flesh. Then the Dark Ones think you're one of them. They leave you alone. But now they're gone. I think they went south. Far, far to the south. That is where the Dark Master calls them.
He's talking about the Archdemon, huh?
After the Dark Master awoke, he called his children and they all went. I wanted to go too, and gaze upon his beauty. He stopped calling. I wish I could go see him, but Ruck... No, Ruck is a coward! The crawlers, they used to eat the smallest Dark Ones. Now the crawlers go hungry. I will answer your questions. Bits of things, but only bits. The crawlers took almost everything. They take things of steel and things of paper. They take the shinies and the words.
Paper and words? That sounds like someone was taking notes. Do you think Branka camped here?
They bring to the great nest, the nest they makes for the eggs. They puts the shinies inside, they do. Ruck has some things from the camp. Sometimes the webs. You give him shiny coins, no? For you, yes, Ruck has many things. No filter, no mother, no warm blanket and stew and pillow and soft words. Ruck doesn't deserve good memories. No. She did not know, not what I did. I was very angry, and then someone was dead, and they wanted to send Ruck to the mines. If I went to the mines, she would know. Everyone would know. So I came here instead. Once you eat, once you takes in the darkness, you not miss the light so much. You know, do you not? Ruck sees. Yes, he sees the darkness inside you. No, she cannot. She remembers a boy, a little boy with bright eyes and a hammer, and she cannot see this. Swear, promise, vow you won't tell. Yes. Tell the mother Ruck is dead. He's dead, and his bones are rotting in the crawler's webs, and she should never look again. Yes, that's what Ruck is. Dead. Dead like bones that turn to dust when you touch them.
Branka was thinking about me. I knew she still cared. Old softy. Looks like the Dead Trenches is our next stop then. They say the Darkspawn nest there. Whole herds of them. But if that's where Branka went, then that's where I'm going.
Atrasvala, Grey Warden. I've never seen one of your kind in the deep roads. In the Legion of the Dead, we abandon our lives to be free of fear, free of hopeful blindness. The coming blight is obvious to us. The surprise is not that you have come, but that you have come in so small a number. What do you want here, Warden? It's an odd tactic, recruiting from the front line. The Darkspawn pitch their camps in our tunnels between your blights, you know. Give me a dwarven reason to look topside. Who put this dull idea in your head? We got other things to worry about in Orzammar. Ah, now I see. The Deep Lords in the Assembly can't make up their minds, so the Pretenders need added influence. I get that right? It's not my job to shore up the Assembly chasing dead legends. The Legion holds a line so those fools have time to put an ass on the throne. After that, we'll be the first into the dead trenches. Might even tackle your blight, though that's a surfacer's problem. You want to go digging blind? You go right ahead. Why? The other kingdoms only care when the Darkspawn march in the light. But they are always here, always pushing. Your nightmare is my everyday. Our resolve gives you a rest between blights. A surge on the surface would give us a break. When the time comes, I'll care for a good dwarven reason. Sod the rest. We die in the eyes of our brothers so we can fight without fear. It offers redemption for the promise of the greatest sacrifice. That's all you need to know. To say more invites judgment, or worse, imitation. Good luck, Grey Warden. The Legion needs no quarter. Send them to the stone! Well, Grey Warden, I'll give you credit for backbone. You've dug a line through the spawn. Still no sense in your head, but you've got skill. Like dusters, I've heard of respect. Never seen it. And if it exists, it wasn't meant for me. But if you're looking for paragons, you may as well look for the Anvil. And endless lyrium. Let us know if you find any paragons. You're as likely to find a dozen as one. And Warden, watch yourself. Drunks make poor allies.
First day they come and catch everyone. Second day, they beat us and eat some for meat. Third day, the men are all gnawed on again. Fourth day, we wait and fear for our fate. Fifth day they return, and it's another girl's turn. Sixth day, her screams we hear in our dreams. Seventh day, she grew as in her mouth they spew. Eighth day, we hate it as she is violated. Ninth day, she grins and devours her kin. Now she does feast as she's become the beast. What is this? An elf? Exotic and impossible. Feeding time brings only kin and clan. I am cruel to myself. You are a dream of strangers' faces and open doors. First day they come and catch everyone. Corruption. The men did that. Their wounds festered, and their minds left. They are like dogs, marched ahead, the first to die. Not us, not me, not Laren. We are not cut. We are fed. Friends, and flesh, and blood, and bile, and all I could do was wish Laren went first. I wished it upon her so that I would be spared, but I had to watch. I had to see the change. How do you endure that? How did Branka endure? Do not talk of Branka, of what she did. Ancestors preserve us. Forgive me. I was her captain, and I didn't stop her. Her lover, and I could not turn her. Forgive her. But no. She cannot be forgiven. Not for what she did. Not for what she has become. No more than a few breaths, but longer than an eon. It was long enough. Long enough to miss her. To love her again. To hate her more than ever.
Yeah, this explains a lot. Of course, if I knew she had those interests, I could have made some adjustments.
No. I swore not to speak of it. Not to think of it. La, 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 la. I will not hear any more about Branka. End this. I am full of them, only a step from Laren. I dream I am away, but real safety? That means accepting. And I will not. I will not become what I have seen. Not Laren, not Branka. She became obsessed. That is the word, but it is not strong enough. Blessed stone, there was nothing left in her but the anvil. We tried to escape, but they found us. They took us all. Turned us. The men, they kill. They're merciful. But the women, they want to touch, to mold, to change until you are filled with them. They took Laren. They made her eat the others, our friends. She tore off her husband's face and drank his blood. And while she ate, she grew. She swelled and turned gray, and she smelled like them. They remade her in their image. Then she made more of them. Broodmother. That's where they come from. That's why they hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka? By the stone! I barely recognized you!
Oghren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Oghren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Endrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. A king won't defeat a blight. We've had 40 generations of kings, and lost everything. I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very Darkspawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. the means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caridin himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. I will not give up. His legacy lies just inside, the sum of all his knowledge, and I will have it. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caridin's maze, and out to where the anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon. I needed people to test Caridin's traps. There's no way to break through except by trial and error. I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespith.
I don't think you understand what it cost to get you here.
She couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed. She swore she'd do whatever it took to find the anvil. There was no other choice. Most of them were dying of the taint already. But some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh Darkspawn to test the traps. They could still serve me, let me find the anvil. It was the only way. You have no idea how they carried on, holding my hand and begging to die. They had pledged me their loyalty. They had no right to fight me. They say your order is renowned for its wits as well as its brawn. Perhaps you'll do better than my poor clansmen. There's something about this place. It makes people despair.
My name is Caridin. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Caridin, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The Anvil of the Void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. I do. I live to ensure that the anvil was never used again. Now it never shall be. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. It was an option I could offer warriors who would volunteer to defend their homeland, and some took it. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies, all of them were to be given to the Anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes. Not revenge. The blow of the hammer opened my eyes. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the Anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The Anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the Anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the Anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the Anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the Anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with Darkspawn spume? The Anvil will let us take back our glory!
So it fights with Caridin? Good. That seems right.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
No! You will not take it! Not while I still live!
Branka, don't throw your life away for this. Just give her the blasted thing. She's confused. Maybe once she calms down, we can talk to her.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caridin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! But, my friend, you must help me! I cannot stop her alone!
Protect my Anvil!
Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the Anvil would kill her.
How is it that the woman was not able to disable me as she did you, Caridin?
I do not know. Have you been altered?
I once had a pathetic little mage of a master. He did something to me, experimented on me, and then I killed him, and it rendered me paralyzed.
Perhaps he was bringing forth old memories, and caused you to remember the time when you fought at my side. The paralysis you speak of always resulted when the Master perished. As for your free will, you were always a strong woman, Shale. I am pleased to see you remain such.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Do not thank me. All of this is my doing, my legacy. But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The Anvil waits there for you to shatter it.
It was good to meet you, Paragon. I intend to ensure that your warnings about the golems are heard by the Circle of Magi.
Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden? For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. There, it is done. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in all Tunsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
Well, that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? I wouldn't be in any hurry to get back to the assembly either.
Shale of House Kadash. Is that who I once was? I find this difficult to believe. If I was this Shale of House Kadash, as Caridin said, there must be some evidence of my existence remaining. I must find it. I need to know that this is the truth, and not simply believe. What Caridin said, it has allowed me to remember one thing. I believe I know where Kadash Thaig is. I am. I do not know why I am, but I am. I will mark the location on its map. If we can journey there soon, I am most curious as to what we will find.
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper in Orzammar, I bet they'd brown their trousers and pay good gold for it. Probably both.
No. Perhaps it thinks I should. It may have something to do with Caridin's words. If there is some way to make a copy of these runes, I am willing to study them. Perhaps there is something to be gleaned from them, I know not. This is it. Kadash Thaig. Perhaps. It may also be where I was found. These ruins are always overrun by vermin. There may be something noteworthy further in, however. What is this? This I remember. It has dates and names. This is to honor those who volunteered, those who became golems. And there is my name, Shale of House Kadash. Just as Caridin said. I remember now. I remember, Shale. That was me. I will need to think on these things I have learned. Perhaps I will speak to it of them soon. For now, let us carry on as we have. I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them. Oh, it's not just that. Well, I'm sure that's part of it, but it's not only that. Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings? Then that must be it. The humans have always spoken about elves being inferior, but obviously this is their own stupidity talking. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless. Indeed, can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Let's get back to Orzammar as quickly as we can. Yeah, those Deshirs have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
We should let the Warden speak. What news do you bring?
Caridin was trapped in the body of a golem. This Warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Caridin forged a crown for Orzammar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
And we are supposed to trust this? The word of a drunken sot and a Grey Warden known to be in Harrowmont's pocket?
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Ortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Caridin choose?
I appreciate your forthrightness, Warden. You have acted with grace through this entire torturous process.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
I will not abide by this!
The ancestors have spoken.
Would you let a surfacer decide the fate of the dwarves?
Watch out! They brought weapons!
Guard!
The Warden has joined Harrowmont. Attack for Balin!
I admit I did not think even Balin would defy the word of a paragon, nor that so many would follow him. But most of Orzammar has seen him for what he really is, and I trust we will bring this insurgency under control. I prefer to be known as a just and compassionate king. Strong too often comes to mean tyrannical, but I will not leave this uprising unpunished. Those loyal to the throne will begin preparations for a surface mission immediately. Orzammar will fulfill its treaties. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get to the palace and set our plans in motion. This is the staff I carried as King Endrin's II. Take it as a reminder of your place in Orzammar. I wish you luck against the Blight Warden. May we foster another 4 centuries of peace.
So, I was thinking, we've come to know each other fairly well during our time in the Deep Roads. You're bloody fearsome, for an elf, and I'm a warrior without a house to defend. Wandering about killing Darkspawn with a sodding Grey Warden sounds like just the thing to keep me occupied. So what do you say? More than that. It'll cost me my house to take a trip like this. But I don't have a bleeding house to begin with, so who cares? I'm better off up there with you than down here where the sodding children laugh at me. And glad I am to hear it. You won't regret it. Now, do any of these sad sacks following you around know the first thing about making ale? Never mind. You can stop with the glaring. I'll ask him myself.